Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Spinach. So today my screen might seem a little bit weird. That is because we are going to learn prescription writing today. So I just wanted to set a scene about prescription writing, and this is the prescription paper that we're going to use. Now, the first question that arises is where do you find these drug charts for PLAB-2 preparation? Now, let me take you to the website where I found this drug chart. Now, you definitely know you just have to go to General Medical Council, where you need to go to the PLAB guide and then go to a sample OSCE station. Now, if you go to the sample OSCE stations, that is where in additional information you can find all the PDF documents of the drug chart. So before going to your exam, it is important that you download these drug charts and practice your prescription writing in all of these drug charts. So I'm using the sample drug card over here. We do have other ones like intravenous, child fluid prescription, and the rest of them. Okay, now let's go back to our document here. Okay, so let's first go through different sections of the drug chart. So this is your sample drug chart. So the first section that you can see is over here you write the patient demographics, and here you write your and hospital demographics. Now you can see this is the VTE assessment form, and here you write the allergies. These are the ones only pre-medication drugs. Now the first page you can see has the hospital address, or better to say, general information about the patient, and as well as patient demographics over here, right? And it has an allergy information, and then the drugs that are to be given only once and only once, not regular drugs, nothing else. You can say these are emergency drugs, or the drugs which will not be given after one dose. So, and then of course you have this oxygen therapy if the patient is on oxygen. Now this is the first page of the drug chart. Moving on, you have antibiotics in the second page. Then moving on, you have regular drug prescriptions. So you have they have given 2 pages of regular drug prescriptions. That is because you have quite a lot of regular drugs. So these are the ones that are taken constantly or consistently by the patient. These can include, for example, the anticoagulants like deltaparin, or let's say long time diabetic drugs, or even long time thyroid drugs like levothyroxine, right? Now after the regular drugs, you have drugs which are given as required. These can be like something like painkillers, which are only given when the patient requires them, like PRN drugs. Okay. Now, the next one is anticoagulant treatment. So, this is only reserved for one drug, and that is which requires INR monitorization. Now, which drug is it? It is warfarin. So, this one is only reserved for warfarin. So that is it. I think it has been uploaded 2 times in my PDF in my screen, but that is fine. So we'll just look at the one that we were looking at the moment. Now, okay, now first see the order of drug prescription. So, when you are in a hospital, or let's say you are in your PLAB-2 cubicle in the center, and you have to write a drug prescription. So just think of a scenario in a real life that you're sitting and then you're writing a drug prescription for a patient. Now you will always and always start with patient demographics. So you have to fill in these details. What are these details? You can see these details: the hospital number, name of the patient, address of the patient, date of birth, and the NHS number of the patient. So usually, and most of the times, you are given a sticker in the inside the cubicle, and you just have to paste it over here and write nothing. So it will save you time. So whenever you are in the exam hall, please check if they have a sticker or not, because you can simply place it here, but you will need to write down all these information here. This information is usually given. If not, then you can write it on your own. So the ward number of the patient, the hospital, now the name of the consultant who the patient is under, the date of admission is the date of your exam. then weight and height of the patient. Now, date written will also be the same date as the exam date, because you're writing both the prescription, admission and written on the same date. Now, and yeah, the rest of the things are not important. Now, so the first thing that you fill is, remember, the demographics of the patient. This is the top page. Now, usually when you fill in the prescription is filled in the order of how the pages are appearing, but there are a little bit of up and downs in a few things that we're going to discuss here. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to fill is allergies. So this is also very, very important. Um, but before the allergies, you need to check, has the VTE risk assessment form been completed? Now, so after you've filled up this, there is a VTE risk assessment form that is, you have to take it from the hospital and ask those questions to the patient, and finally tick this part on the drug chart. So this is usually not given in the exam. So what you can do is you can assume that you have done it and tick it. Okay, and the next thing then comes is allergies. So everything goes in order, so each and everything that is written over here would be important, right? Now, if the task mentions the patient has allergy, then you will write the name of the drug the patient had allergy to, amoxicillin or penicillin, and the type of reaction the patient had, anaphylaxis, rash, whatever, and then name, your name and your signature and the date. Okay, now let's say if the patient doesn't have any allergy. So in that case, if the patient doesn't have any allergy, you have to still fill it up. You have to write no known allergies. Okay, and then write your name, do the signature and write the date. Okay, now the next thing that you do is, please tick if the patient has any of the following. Now, so now sometimes it is given that the patient is MRSA. That means the patient is has methicillin resistant staphylococcus aureus infection. So you will have to tick this MMSA, whatever is given. It is usually given in the task whether patient is MRSA or not. So you will have to take this. The next thing is, if there are only any once only drugs that you need to fill in. Now you can see the date required, that means today's date, the time required, when is it required, when the once only drugs are required, the name of the drug, the route, which route is it, per oral or let's say intravenous, whatever, and then the dose of the drug and your signature. And yeah, so this is not to be filled by you, this is to be filled by the nurses. Okay, yeah, so this is the one. Now usually this one's not asked, so we're just going to skip it. So this is the basically the oxygen thing that you need to fill in. But after you have done this, the once only drugs, the next thing that you're going to go forward with is the antibiotics. So you will fill in the antibiotics. Okay, so the antibiotic prescription will require you to fill the drug. Just take an example here, that is clarithromycin, let's say. Now, the dose of the drug usually could be given or could not be given. Now, if the dose of the drug is not given, you need to check the indication. Let's say indication is lower respiratory tract infection. So if the dose of the drug is not given, you will have to open the BNF up, that is British National Formulary. So in that, now you have to go to the drug and then check where is the lower respiratory tract infection, and then finally give the check the dose according to the weight or whatever, and write the dose of the drug here. Now also remember, if the patient has any allergies, for example in this case, the say patient doesn't have, if the patient has allergies, should that drug be given or not? So this is also important for you to remember. Okay, now you have written clarithromycin, you need to write the dose, the route, start date and stop date of the drug, and of course your signature, GMC number, and any indication or any additional information as well. The rest of the things are okay to not write. If they are given, if this micro approved, then write it yes. Usually the information is not given. Okay. The next thing that you're going to fill in after the antibiotics is the new medications. Basically, the new antibiotics, new medications in the regular drugs. So you will write all the regular drugs, and then the new drugs and the regular drugs, and then you will go to the anticoagulants part. So you will prescribe warfarin as and when needed, and also the desired INR, the range of the desired INR, which would be given in the question. So everything regarding this treatment will also be given in the question. And finally, what you're going to do is you're going to write the as required drugs. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's all for this lesson. Then in the next lesson, let us discuss a bit more about the do's and don'ts and how to basically write a prescription. Okay. Now, if you like my video, again, give it a thumbs up and do share this with your friends and your colleagues and whoever needs this. Okay, and comment if you have any questions, and yeah, let me know. Okay, then, goodbye. Take care. Bye bye.